Quick greetings. Um, I am doing just a quick video, and I always say it's quick, but it is going to be quick because I'm on the clock. Um, this is I'm rewatching Anna's video that I posted late last night, and I'm watching it and I'm getting a lot of you know just in excuse me insights. Um, actually she broadcasts every Monday, so you might be in for a treat because I think I may try uh record her live. I'm pretty sure she's okay with this. She's always advocating to get this message out so people know what we are dealing with. So yeah, I'm really moved to want to record her live tonight. I'll see what happens because I don't know. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky. Like getting logged in lately. I don't know what. It's just it does a little whole process. But what I wanted to say is that something I didn't say before about the model of the corporation. Now, Anna is, if you listen to that video, she's got like the acid queen. She's like dissolving all over the place. She's speaking about dissolving uh corporations and using ecclesiastical law to do so. So I think I wondered, why is she not using our laws, to dissolve them? I believe she is somewhere in there, but I think the reason why she is mentioning ecclesiastic, I think she's talking about municipal agencies that are the Vatican is lord over the municipal agencies. But also, I think the idea is that even in their little hijack mimic laws, that they in other words, I think she's using their own laws to spell out why they need to be dissolved, because they're acting even outside of those. Like, I guess what they did was create a set of laws that they thought looked good, but then had no intention of going by them. So she's talking about ecclesiastic, like why they should be dissolved in that jurisdiction. But the reason why they should be dissolved on our jurisdiction is due to a breach of the Constitution, the original Constitution, and they've breached all any guidelines. They have either misinterpreted so that they can have some authority, or they outright broke these guidelines. First of all, I'm going to keep reeling it back to, what are you doing on those seats almost the entire year? Take a break, boo boo. Your domination machine is already in place. Why do you have to meet there? Well, like, what is wrong with these people? What, you don't have a life? Your whole life is about hijacking American Indian land. That's your whole entire dedication. Well, that's why we're coming for you. You didn't even take a break. This is a 24/7, 300 and some I don't know, 30 odd days of these people dreaming up ways to come for our property, and owning us as if we are property, actual men and women of the land. So I just, all I know is that I think our indigenous, our American Indians can really, I really wonder if we should align with these kind of voices, because there's a guarantee that we will not get hijacked again. If we can grasp what the state nationals are grasping about, she's talking about getting rid of the district courts. And I think the reason why she's saying that, from what I understand, is district alone, that term district, it's pointing to DC. A DC is a district. So every court, it's like you line up the ducks and you see the trail that leads to the foreign entity asserting itself in ways that it never was supposed to. So I think that's why she's saying these district courts have to be dissolved, because DC has to be dissolved. We're going to call it dissolved city, DC, dissolved city from now on. They have went way beyond their duties, congressional duty, way beyond. She even said that that whole area was supposed to be a place where representatives, from the state's real men and women of the land, not puppets who took our place and basically dumbed us down. So we don't even know how this thing is supposed to operate, because, we're going to take care of that for you. And look how it panned out for American Indians. We are at the absolute bottom of this dung heap. So Anna is really, she's not trying to make deals. She's talking, asserting an authority that she knows we had, even the foreigner has. But what my message is that if the foreigner has it, damn well American Indians have it just off the bat, over and above. We don't have to concede to what the federal system, the federal entity wants to give us, like a consolation Indian status. Like, okay, we'll give you, you'll be our version of what an Indian is. And what is that? Congress has plenary authority over you. You can't even try a criminal on your reservation. We limited to a damn reservation, while this corporation dominates all of our lands, our indigenous lands. And if they create some new category for us, we'll never get that land that's held in trust either, because they're going to find a way to, divert away from that. They're going to create something that sounds like an American Indian, but it won't be, because Congress created it. And they got this thing down to a science where all they have to do, they can use the same word, American Indian, but depending on how they treat the lettering, if it's American Indian in all caps, well, that means that's a corporate entity. Now, say now that they call us American Indians, and we notice that when they call us that, they use all capital. Okay, so you just made me into a corporation, so you have dominion over me. The message of this video, if I have to scream it till the last day, people, men and women of the land, were never meant to be dominated by corporations. If we allow it, that's why the corporations dominate us. That's why they have more say than men and women. That's why they can, if you look at how corporations are operated, they create a whole set of laws within their corporations that, it could be, if we go with the most recent cases, you have to get this jab or else. Now, if we were under the Constitution and we were men and women of the land, we wouldn't be under that corporate contract that says, in order to work here, you have to get a jab. That would not even come up. It would be completely unconstitutional. But when you give a corporation power, I'm telling you, it's a contract that waives your constitutional rights. We don't want to fuck with this kind of entity. No how, no way. We would do better to sooner get with join forces with these American nationals. These are the forces that we got together with in the Revolutionary War. This is what we were all fighting for. This is what the foreigner and the American Indian was fighting for. Maybe it might be a wise thing for us to do it again and beat these motherfuckers again, like we did the first time, but they came back and infiltrated our Constitution, recreated our Constitution, made us corporate entities so that they could dominate us. I think about these quote unquote Indian tribes, and I'm just going to say it, Fana comes to mind. F-A-N-A, Fana. Yes, we're going to read these Indians that are misleading. These Indians that I got into a like a verbal comment section battle with this idiot who insists on being under federal jurisdiction. As an Indian? Are you kidding me? You're a fool. And the thing is, these people won a case. They won a case. But I guess part of the deal they got was, well, we'll give you all this cheddar, but we're going to dominate your ass still. And this man is on his panel quoting why we have to pay taxes. Are you fucking kidding me? This Fana dude. I was so when I first learned about Fana, I was so taken. I thought they were so on point. But then he started talking about you're a sovereign citizen if you're not blah 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 blah. And so in other words, even just saying sovereign, they get all uptight. Why? That's what the freaking Revolutionary War was about, being sovereign. So any Indian that they face gets all frowned up because he wants to believe that you say the word sovereign and he just adds citizen. That I never said sovereign citizen. You are programmed by your master, the federal government, to think that every time that you hear the word sovereign, automatically you make ain't everybody a citizen. So they assuming that everyone is a fucking citizen. So when they say sovereign, they automatically say, oh, you're a sovereign citizen. No, the hell I'm not. There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. A citizen is a slave to the corporation. A sovereign is a master over a corporation. So is this inland terrorism? No, it's not. It's calling up the Constitution. That's what it is. The original Continental Constitution dealt with the land, had nothing to do with a damn corporation. Until these idiots made everything, every type of action you can think of, they turned it into a corporate transaction. Getting in your car to go get groceries, according to this entity, that is you involved in commerce. So that's why your car is registered, because you're in commerce. It's like renting a taxi cab or using a corporation's taxi to do business. That's how they're looking at every person that gets in a car, whether they're a taxi or not, or just going to granny's house up the fucking block. That's a corporate transaction. They have obliterated the possibility of a man and woman just doing daily life that has nothing to do with a corporate transaction. They've made everything a corporate transaction. That's because they're a corporation. And what I want to say before I start ranting, the reason why we don't want this entity as our government is because corporations can be bought and sold, which means that is how a China or a Japan or whatever can own your corporation. And then what does a corporation do after that? It makes money off of you, right? It just bought you. It bought your government because your government is a damn corporation. So it can be bought by a foreigner, and you'll have a foreigner running your nation, your country. That is why the corporate model will never work toward a people maintaining their sovereignty. It just sweeps it from under you and never lets you know that you are bought and paid for. And your wages are now income to some corporation so they can dip into that. They're not supposed to be taken out of your wages. You work for that. And you're not working for them, but in their world you are, because they're the corporation. So this was supposed to be a short shout out. I was thinking of, just playing a little bit of that video that we watched, but I think I'm going to just pass on that. If we don't record her live broadcast later, we'll just play the latest that she has posted to the website. I really think that those American Indians who are so inclined to really get your sovereignty back, and I'm not talking about some false version where you're still dominated, you're just called Indians, but now you got a new contract, American Indian Incorporated, where the corporation still gets to dip in our pockets and tell us what to do, how we could get benefits and privileges. We don't need benefits and privileges when we got a whole landmass under our feet. So what was I saying? One of the first things we need to do is tell this corporation that, first of all, you're going to see me as I am mentioned in the original Constitution. I am not a corporate entity. We are men and women of the land. So first thing is, get back to that original 1787 Constitution, so that you know that I'm not your little fuck toy. I'm not your little corporate fuck doll, where you make me a corporation, then you get to run a train on my ass or whatever with this bullshit. So, and also, well, it's just a lot, because the idea is, no, it's not just, that we're trying, when we tell them that we've been reclassified, that means all of us, anyone who's been reclassified. They're going to try to limit it. Perhaps they'll try to limit it to, oh, just your tribe, but okay, we won't call you that anymore, but everybody else will be. And see, that's how we allow them to continue the fraud. They give us a little payoff, we get happy and go run off, but the bullshit still continues. And then we probably given some don't talk about what just don't tell nobody about what you just happened. So now the world is still ignorant of the fraud. We don't want that. We it's better we dissolve that motherfucker again, like the Wicked Witch, and join forces with those state nationals who know where we need to be as a sovereign nation. She's, it's nothing wrong with learning, there is, and we still have the authority of being American Indians. So even the state nationals, although they seem to, and they do know a lot more about this corporation than I think even a group like Fana does. Oh my God. Oh my God. Arguing with this man because I'm telling him that we're not supposed to be taxed. And he's telling me, oh, yes, we are. And the only way is to expatriate and da 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 da. Well, then so be it. And then no, don't try to and I told him, like, you acting like somebody should be scared to expatriate. Bro, if I need to get out of this freaking jail cell, yeah, I'll expatriate. He was like he's being very daring, like, well, you gotta have to expatriate, then you'll be landless. No, you won't. You will not. Guess what? Because the Constitution already said what I'm supposed to be. That is what I'll be expatriating to. The first original Constitution, that status. So know so much about the corporation's federal statutes, but don't know shit. That's what my mother used to call an educated fool. Someone who they know all about the master's laws. They know about the slave master law. They don't have a clue about freed law, the law of the land. They don't know shit about that, but going to tell you something about what Massa said about what you ain't supposed to do. I feel so bad for Fana because when the real Indians get back in power, these fraudulent Indians are going to really get a wake-up call. Ones who want to be under your colonizer. You want the colonizer to run your house, give you a little bit of benefits and privileges, and you happy with that. And they're going to argue with a real Indian who's saying, nah, I ain't going for that shit. You're going to argue the real Indians down because you a fucking house Negro. You might as well stay a Negro if you're still a slave to the slave master. Again, insulting the ancestors by using the term American Indian and still being a nigger. Yes, you are. If you think that you are under federal law, the same federal government that reclassified your dumb ass, then you deserve to stay a nigger. Don't even use American Indian. Why insult your ancestors directly? Stay a nigger, a colored, an African American, a mulatto. American Indians, we have allies, I'm telling you right now, with any group that is telling us what this federal entity is really about. That's an ally. I believe the ancestors put them there. How else would we, if it wasn't for the state national entity that we have now developing, trying to steer us back to the original Constitution, I don't know how I would have found out about. I don't know how I would have learned about this. I really don't. At first, it seems really like, oh my gosh, I don't understand a word they're saying. But over time, it starts to gel, because I'm telling you, every Monday she goes through it with you. She runs it until you start to understand what she's saying, and that's my phone. I guess that's my cue. Let me get back to you guys at a later date. Thank you for watching. Peace, love, and all of that good stuff. Hello?
Oh, hey. Oh, okay. Yes.